Foot and mouth disease, often shortened to FMD, is a big problem for animals like cows, pigs, sheep, and goats. It's caused by a tiny germ called a virus. This virus is very contagious, which means it spreads easily from one animal to another. FMD can make animals very sick and cause problems for farmers because they might not be able to sell their milk or meat. Foot and mouth disease is found in many parts of the world. It's important to learn about FMD so we can protect animals and keep them healthy. Farmers, veterinarians, and even regular people should know about FMD so we can all do our part to stop it from spreading. The good news is that scientists and researchers are always working to find new ways to fight FMD. By learning more about this disease, we can help to keep animals healthy and farms productive. Foot and mouth disease is caused by a special type of virus called an aphthovirus. Viruses are super tiny, even smaller than bacteria, and they need to live inside a living thing, like an animal, to grow and multiply. Think of a virus like a little seed that needs soil to grow. In this case, the animal is the soil and the virus needs it to survive. Once the FMD virus gets inside an animal, it starts to make copies of itself. This is how the virus spreads inside the animal's body. The virus likes to attack special cells in the animal's mouth and feet, which is why it's called foot and mouth disease. As the virus multiplies, it begins to cause damage to these cells, leading to the symptoms of the disease. There are actually different types of FMD virus, like different flavors of ice cream. Some types of the virus are stronger than others, and some animals might get sicker than others depending on the type of virus they catch. It's important for scientists to know which type of virus is causing an outbreak so they can use the right tools to fight it. Foot and mouth disease is highly contagious, which means it spreads very easily from one animal to another. Think of it like the flu. If one person in your classroom gets sick, it's likely that others will too. The FMD virus can be spread in a few different ways. One way is through direct contact between animals. If a healthy cow touches noses with a cow that has FMD, the healthy cow is very likely to get sick too. The virus can also spread through the air, especially in enclosed spaces. Imagine blowing up a balloon and then letting it go. The air inside the balloon spreads out everywhere. That's kind of how the FMD virus can spread through the air. The FMD virus can also live on things like clothes, shoes, and farming equipment. So, if a farmer has been working with sick animals and then goes to a different farm without changing their clothes or cleaning their equipment, they could accidentally bring the virus with them. It's important to be careful and keep things clean to prevent the spread of FMD. Farmers and people who work with animals should always wash their hands and disinfect their equipment regularly. Section 4. Recognizing the signs. Symptoms of FMD. Foot and mouth disease can make animals very sick. It's important to be able to recognize the signs so we can get help quickly. Animals with FMD might have blisters in their mouth and on their feet. These blisters are painful and can make it hard for the animal to eat or walk. Animals with FMD might also drool a lot, have a fever, and lose weight. They might not want to eat or drink very much, and they might seem tired and lethargic. Imagine having a really bad cold. You probably wouldn't feel like doing much either. If you notice any of these signs in your animals, it's important to call a veterinarian right away. The veterinarian can examine the animal and run some tests to see if it has FMD. Early detection and treatment are important to prevent the spread of the disease. Section 5. Combating FMD, diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. Diagnosing foot and mouth disease usually involves a veterinarian examining the animal and taking samples, like blood or fluid from the blisters. These samples are sent to a laboratory where scientists can test them for the presence of the FMD virus. It's like when you go to the doctor and they take a swab from your throat to see if you have strep throat. Unfortunately, there's no cure for FMD. However, there are things we can do to help animals feel better and prevent the spread of the virus. Sick animals need to be isolated from healthy animals to prevent the disease from spreading. They also need to be given plenty of food and water to help them stay strong. Vaccines are one of the most effective ways to protect animals from FMD. Vaccines work by introducing a weakened or inactive form of the virus into the animal's body. This helps the animal's immune system recognize and fight off the virus if it ever encounters it again. Preventing FMD outbreaks requires a team effort. Farmers, veterinarians, and government agencies all play a role in keeping animals healthy. By working together, we can help to control and eventually eradicate this costly and debilitating disease.